Okay, should I begin now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning once again. My name is Maimuna Isa, and this is the last stages of the preliminaries for the 2025 debate competition. And for this session, we have Team Ekiti versus Team Osun. Team Osun being proposition and Team Ekiti being opposition. And I would love to welcome our judges and our coordinator, our respectful coordinators and honorable judges, and everyone present in the audience. Our motion for today is that this House would abolish the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination as a criteria for university admission. And this is a highly relatable and thoughtful, provoking topic, especially in the context of educational access, quality assurance, and equity. On one hand, the proposition of the motion argue for a more holistic and decentralized approach for the admission. Then on the other hand, oppositions might argue about corruption and thing relating to how the exam is not as good as. So today, as the moderator, my role is to ensure that fairly and respectfully, each side will be given equal opportunity to present their arguments, respond to questions and arguments, and let the debate begin. But first of the rules, each speaker has 6 minutes, and then there's time for reply speeches, which lasts for 2 minutes. When it's time for POIs, I will notify you by raising my POI notes, and then there's protected time, which means when you have 1 minute before your time is over, and I'll signify by doing this that you have 1 minute left, and then when your time is up, I'll clap. And please make sure not to exceed your time, because when you exceed your time, the point will be deducted. So team proposition, can we have your first speaker?
Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Yes. Good day, the moderator, the panel of judges and accurate timekeepers, my co-debaters and my listening audience. I am Gabriel Peace Elizabeth, a proud representative team of Osun in this national inter-secondary school debate competition. And I stand here to propose the motion that the House would abolish the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination as an admission criterion. But first, let me divide my key terms. Abolish. To abolish in this context means to totally stop the use or existence of a thing, but in this case, the UTME as an admission criterion. UTME simply stands for Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations. It was launched in 2010 as single entrance exams for all tertiary institutions. Its supervising body is the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, which was established in 1978. Firstly, universities as centers of excellence are meant to be autonomous. The UTME tends to undermine this autonomy. A unified, centralized, and nationwide examination format raises unnecessary questions on the university's independence and quality control mechanisms. A UTME is only doing what universities had been doing successfully before the formation of JAM. So if we scrap the UTME as an admission criterion, we will be losing nothing but unnecessary duplication of functions. Secondly, we remember that universities, as a result of their lack of trust in the UTME exams, have had to set up post-UTME exams. What does this prove? Universities don't see much sense of credibility in the UTME admission interventions. Why would they have to set up their own post-UTME exams if the UTME were trustworthy, reliable, and credible? This means the UTME can conveniently be abolished as an admission criterion. Moreover, the UTME is a beam of financial drainage on the system, students, and parents. Taxpayers' money can better be channeled to fund or upgrade the educational sector. But my worthy opponents may want to say that the money is not taxpayers' money, but that which students pay to obtain their form. Now I ask the question, can that money not be channeled into other pressing and equally important needs? By the way, if we say it's only the money that students pay for registration that is used, we may not be totally correct because government also spends taxpayers' money for these exercises. Furthermore, if we think back a little, maybe for the past few decades, won't we see a correlation between the establishment of the UTME and a drop in the standard of our graduates today? The admission process of universities and other tertiary institutions was more closely monitored then. This led each university to have the right crop of students admitted. We had a much higher standard then as a result of careful assessments, supervision, and scrutiny. Today, the reverse is the case. Apparently, I wonder, why do we have to spend so much human, financial, and logistical resources on a nationwide examination? Why each university can easily and conveniently screen and admit students? At least, this was the practice when the likes of Wole Soyinka and the late Chinua Achebe were students. So we can avoid the waste and still achieve the same results or even better by abolishing the UTME as an admission criterion. Lastly, on a human side, Faith Okwesusi, a candidate of the 2025 JAMB, committed suicide when she received an unexpected JAMB score. Stop for a moment. This is not the time to argue. Put yourself in the shoes of that girl's parents. If UTME had not been there, she would probably have been still alive today. It is for this reason that some people say our blood in some charm's neck. On a closing note, I believe I have made my point clear enough that we can avoid the waste of funds, eroding of university autonomy, and possible waste of life. If we all support this house with its proposal that the UTME should be abolished as an admission criterion. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Memuna, they can't hear you, please.
Sorry about that. She spent 4 minutes, 32 seconds. And opposition, please, first speaker from opposition. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good day, impartial panel of judges, the moderator, my friends in argument, timekeeper, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is
Ekiti, you are on 2 cameras and it's affecting your video. So please switch to the other video. Ekiti.
This is now. Clearly. That's okay.
Ekiti. Off one of your camera. Your one of your camera. Okay, it's okay. Start your debate.
Okay, your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good day, Mr. Chairman. Good day, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Ekiti, off one of your video. Two video are there. 2 phones are there.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, impartial panel of judges, the moderators, my friends in arguments, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Odorino Pisbulatife, a proud representative of Ekiti State, representing this year 2025 nationwide electronic debate. And I'm here to boldly oppose the motion, which states that unified tertiary matriculation examination should be abolished as a criteria for university admission. Panel of judges, and the chief speaker of today's debate, permit me to define the key terms. To abolish means to officially end, stop, cancel or terminate a policy, practice, or law that has been in existence. And in the context of today's mission, UTME. Criteria refers to standards and principles that are used to evaluate, judge, or assess something. It includes selection guidelines, evaluation principles, performance, merit, and qualifications. University is a place where students study courses at high level to attain a degree. While education, according to Longman Active Study Dictionary, is a process of study and learning that occurs at schools, colleges, or universities. Unified National Matriculation Examination is a standardized entrance examination that was introduced in the year 1978 by the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. It's a prerequisite for admission into tertiary institutions. Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination is more than an examination. It is a gateway to opportunity, the benchmark of academic preparedness, and a testament to the tool of hard work and confidence. As Nelson Mandela wisely said, education is the most powerful weapon in which we can use to change the world. By retaining UTME, we ensure that students are equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to succeed in their academic pursuits and make meaningful impact in the society. The phrase "the proof of the pudding is in the eating" comes to mind when considering the effectiveness of UTME, with over 1.5 million candidates sitting annually for the examination. A report by JAM, year 2020 by JAM. UTME has continually proven to be a reliable and valid assessment tool, which help universities identify the best candidates for success. As the phrase goes, you can't eat your cake and have it too. Abolishing UTME without a robust alternative will only potentially undermine the quality of university admission and the credibility of our education system. According to reports by the National Universities Commission, NUC, it states that the quality of university admission is directly linked to the quality of students admitted. Back to the introduction of UTME, university admission in Nigeria was characterized by chaos, corruption, and irregularity. Each university had to conduct its own entrance examination, which led to conflicting examination dates, multiple registration, and unfair practices. The situation became unmanageable and the need for a standardized entrance examination arose. In response to this challenge, a unified entrance examination was established in the year 1978 to conduct a unified assessment. Panel of judges. As the chief speaker of today's debate from Team Opposition of Ekiti State, I, as the chief speaker, will elaborate on the point of how UTME has helped to promote national integration, how it has provided standardized assessment for students' capabilities, and how it has prepared students for technological advancement in the 21st century. My first supporting speaker, also from Team Opposition, we also shed more light on this motion by using the following points: how UTME has helped to uphold academic standards, how it has regulated university standards, and how it has promoted meritocracy and equal access. My second supporting speaker, also from Team Opposition, we also elaborate more on this point on how UTME has helped to reduce examination malpractice, how it is a tool for student assessment and readiness, and how it has helped to reduce favoritism. Panel of judges, back to my point. Firstly, unified tertiary matriculation examination helps to promote national integration, as the saying goes, iron sharpens iron, by providing a platform where students can come together, share experience, interact with one another, and learn from one another. UTME is helping to promote national unity, and this is helping to break barrier, as the phrase goes. Good faces make good neighbors, while bad faces make good fighters. UTME help to make this space by promoting peaceful coexistence. Moreover, ladies and gentlemen, UTME also have to prepare a standardized assessment for students' capabilities, ensuring that they are judged based on the same criteria, as the saying goes. Fairness is the best policy. UTME helps to uphold this policy by ensuring accountability, transparency, and fairness in the examination process. By standardizing this assessment, UTME ensures that students are judged on the same criteria, regardless of their background, region, or culture. As the wise saying goes, a level head is better than a full post. UTME aims to provide a level playing field for students to showcase their ability and succeed in life. Furthermore, UTME it plays a vital role in preparing students for technological advancements in the 21st century. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. By incorporating computer-based testing, UTME helps students to be comfortable using technology and can navigate through digital platforms with ease. As the saying goes, a station time saves nine. UTME's focus on technology has helped students in the long run. In conclusion, panel of judges, UTME may have its limitation, but it must never be abolished. As a roof that leaks, you don't burn a house because the roof leaks. UTME must never be abolished. Rather, reforms should be made, as abolition is destruction, while reform is progress. Thank you.
Okay, the first opposing speaker used 5 minutes, 40 seconds. Can we have the second proposition speaker, please? Second proposition speaker. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
According to the Punch newspaper of 29th April 2024, 6.9 million students, 6.9 million candidates registered for the UTME, and about 2 million were able to gain admission into the university.
Hold on, Osun.
About
Hold on, Osun.
4 million.
Osun, hold on. Can you face the camera well? Let's see you well. Your camera is, face it well. Your camera is one side. So, good. That's fine. Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
According to the Punch newspaper of the 29th April 2024, 6.9 million candidates registered for UTME, and about 2 million of them gained admission into the university, leaving about 4 million stranded. Can you believe that? Good day, the moderator. My name is Eluta Misoma, and I am representing Team Osun as the second speaker. Now, I'll begin by listing out my points. UTME does not guarantee equal access into tertiary education. 1. 2. There is low level of computer literacy among Nigerian youths. 3. Owners of CBT centers pollute the candidates to perpetrate examination malpractice. 4. There is inadequate number of CBT centers in Nigeria. 5. It exposes young Nigerians to unnecessary risks. I'll proceed by clarifying my points. Firstly, UTME does not guarantee equal access to tertiary education. As I said before, 6.9 million students registered for UTME, and about 2 million had gained access into the university. Including this year, 2025, 1.9 million students did that same examination, and just about 420,000 have the chance, or should I say, stand the chance to gain admission into the university. So what about the remaining 1.5 million students that are left stranded? I feel that this examination is not putting the lives of our young leaders, the future of our young leaders into mind. And it is not guaranteeing equal access to tertiary education. Even after passing this examination, most of them still can't gain admission into the university because of the JAMB quota. Moving on to my second point. Secondly, there is low level of computer literacy among Nigerian youths. According to UNICEF, about 7% of Nigerian youths are actually computer literate, ranging from 15 to 24 years. Can you imagine this kind of small number among the millions of people that are going to write this same examination? I believe that they should take into consideration that not everybody understands the use of computers, especially those that are coming from rural areas that have not been exposed to this level of technology. Moreover, owners of CBT centers collude with candidates to perpetrate examination malpractices. We've heard of examination malpractices all over the world, both in school examinations, WAEC and ECHO examinations, and it is much more prominent in UTME because it is a computer-based examination. Now, owners of CBT centers, they are individuals, and they just do this to make more profits. Most people want to make money in this country. The country is not smiling at anybody, whether it is legally or illegally. And some people would prefer the latter. Owners of CBT centers join hands with students so that they can make them gain marks that are not for them. They didn't earn it. while others are trying to read and pass their examinations, while others are going to special centers to do these things and pass without making efforts. I feel that this should not be so. Moreover, there is an inadequate number of CBT centers in Nigeria. We have about, yes, please. Yes, please. Okay, as I was saying, there is inadequate number of CBT centers in
How would
Nigeria.
you ensure that students
We have
are
about
benefiting from academic
893
standards?
CBT
If you say
centers in Nigeria. We have about 893 CBT centers in Nigeria. Compared to the towns and cities, this is a far cry from the number that we need. People have to travel far and wide just to be able to get to these CBT centers. And this is endangering the lives of the young Nigerians. We have seen cases of rape, killing, money rituals, and accidents that have happened to candidates on their way to CBT centers. My fourth point is dealing to my final and last point that says it exposes young Nigerians to unnecessary risks. This examination has messed up with the brains of students, whether mentally, emotionally, and physically. We've seen an example of what my first speaker said, a lady that committed suicide when she saw her results. I feel that this is not helping the situation. This examination has caused more harm than good to us, and I feel that the House should actually abolish it. With no iota of doubt, I know that my audience will agree with me that the House should abolish the use of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination as a criterion for admission into the university. Thank you.
Second proposing speaker made use of 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Can we have second opposing speaker? And please, a reminder, when you want to ask your POI, you just raise your hand, and then it's the decision of the speaker to either accept your POI or decline your POI. So your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hold on, before you continue. Hold on.
It's no longer about brilliance or hard work. A country where intelligence are left behind and mediocrity takes a front seat. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the dangerous reality you will face if UTME is abolished. Good and distinguished judges, accurate timekeeper, the moderator, my friends in argument, and my ever-attentive audience. I am Benjamin from Ekiti in this 2025 nationwide electoral debate competition. And I'm here to shed more light on what my chief speaker has said on the motion that states this has to abolish unified tertiary matriculation examination as a criteria for university admission. I stand on this, I sit here not just to argue, but to defend the future of merit, fairness, and academic excellence of our country's education system. Yes, UTME is not a perfect system, but a necessary one, abolishing it to open floodgates to academic chaos, favoritism, and a decline in the standard of our university education. The year was 1978, a year that reshaped Nigeria's education system. Before then, each basis conducted their own entrance exams, leading to favoritism, bribery, and unequal access. But the creation of JAM and the introduction of UTME has changed that story. And as of today, according to the Federal Ministry of Education 2024 report, JAM has evolved into one of the most technologically advanced examination systems in Africa. So there's somebody that UTME was abolished, well, we can't. Today, tear down the bridge simply because road has cracks. We should repair the road, not tear down the bridge. Now that the foundation has been laid, let us join into why UTME must not be abolished. Firstly, UTME opposes academic standards. UTME is the backbone of academic quality in Nigeria. An education system without standards is like a building without a foundation. It cannot stand the test of time. According to UNESCO, standardized national examinations are vital for maintaining educational consistency and integrity. UTME performs exactly that role by ensuring that every admitted student meets a minimum level of competence. For example, in the 2024, they have provided about 1.9 million applications, but yet only those who passed above the national cutoff were admitted. Not because others were unworthy, but because standard matters. As Aristotle once said, excellence is not an accident, the result of high intention, sincere efforts, and intelligent execution. So I'll be asked again, should we trade academic excellence for easy access? Let's not think deeply about that before demanding UTME's abolition. In addition, UTME promotes meritocracy and equal opportunity. UTME promotes meritocracy through the principle that ability, not background, should determine success. UTME is the great leveler. It's not in your tribe, wealth, or social class. It's after your preparation. From the Prince of Niger Delta to the Hill of Ekiti states. Every UTME make sure that every state writes one exam under one computer, one question, and one timer. The National Universities Commission, NUC, revealed that UTME remains the fairest selection to Nigeria as ever list. That democratized access to higher education by allowing students from 36 states to compete equally. Abolish need only return us to a time where influence decide admission, not intelligence. A time where adjudicators were written in offices, not end through efforts. I mean that's the future of openness and ambitions, and I will leave them to ponder over it before their next statement. Finally, UTME regulates university system. Okay.
You said this POI has changed everything. That is, the universities are no longer writing post-UTME. That is in your own language. But up to now, universities are still writing post-UTME. So how has UTME changed it?
Which regulates the system. The NUC's 2024 capacity report revealed that Nigerian universities can only admit about 650,000 students yearly. But yet, they have 1.9 million applications. Without the regulation of UTME, our universities will drown in overcrowding and learning will become suffering. UTME, as John Dawson once said, education is life. But life without education is confusion. UTME asks our university to manage enrollments, allocate resources wisely, and maintain teaching standards. So if UTME is abolished, who will coordinate its finance? Each university on its own, that's like releasing millions of students to jungle of confusion. Before UTME, so universities feel the children of the rated, but now brilliance speaks louder than voice. Before UTME, students have to travel from one university to another, waste their time and money on multiple exams. But now, one exam gives access to all institutions. Before UTME, admissions were decided by who you know, not what you know. But now it's decided by what you know. Through UTME, students are more disciplined. They now know that success is earned, not handed down. Through UTME, examination malpractice and impersonation was reduced through the introduction of computer-based tests. And by introducing technology, UTME did just test student knowledge. It has built digital confidence in most of Nigerian youth today. In conclusion, distinguished judges, my ever-attentive audience, UTME is not a barrier, it's the bridge of opportunity. It is the advocate of merit, the shield of fairness, and the guardian of academic excellence. Abolishing the only open floodgates of chaos, favoritism, and inequality. As UNESCO rightly said, no educational system can rise above the quality of its assessment. So I sit here today as a voice of truth from Ekiti State, declaring with conviction that UTME must not be abolished. Let us not display standard that protect us. Let us strengthen it, because when we defend UTME, we defend merit, fairness, and the future of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. She used 5 minutes, 22 seconds. Now, can we have our third proposition speaker, please?
I'll be starting in 3, 2, 1. The House. This is a very delicate motion being proposed and opposed. Before delving into my points, I would like to make some rebuttals about my worthy opponents. He said, UTME is a gateway for opportunity. She didn't really mention what types of opportunity. And as we all know, UTME is an examination, not a giveaway. She also said it is a platform for unity, where students come together to share ideas. Whereas students only meet themselves on the day of JAM. And most of them register in different centers. So how can they come together and brush and share their knowledge? And she also said it showcases talents and candidates, but learning goes beyond the 4 walls. And looking at you, it is still within these 4 walls, telling us to go into my point. My name is Aji Ogumesi Kosala, and I am here to support the motion. This House would abolish the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, as a criterion for university admission. 1, UTME places heavy financial burdens on parents. 2, occurrence of technical glitches and network issues mar the examination. To begin with, UTME places heavy parents. We wondered, despite the fact that this UTME is not a revenue generation agency. It generates revenue for the government. How is it getting the money? It is getting the money through the parents. The parents are the one funding this examination. And of course, how does it affect the parents and how does it place financial burdens on them? This places financial burdens on them by parents going extra miles for their children to have a successful result in UTME. Of course, my opponents might want to say, combining these resources together is not even up to NECO or WAEC fee. But when we really consider it, let's not forget, this UTME is only written in a year. And if it is not being used within that 1 year, then the resources have gone to waste. But if we combine these resources together, the extra lesson, the money itself, we realize it is a burden on the parents. Continue furthering something where we don't know if it will eventually result in something good, resources that can be used for other things. Of course, my worthy opponents might want to say, what about WAEC, NECO, and the likes? But let me tell you, WAEC and NECO is forever. That is one thing. So which means once you've paid for your WAEC or NECO, the burden is not on your neck again. It is just a once in a lifetime thing. Moving on to my next point, occurrence in technical glitches and network issues mar the examination. Let's not go far. During this session, we have experienced lots of network issues in situations whereby Team Osun could not hear Team Ekiti, and neither can we hear our very respectful moderator. Now let's consider and look at it. What if this was an examination and then I am writing my UTME, and then this technical issue just occurred? How would it have seemed? The computer would have submitted. The computer is not a person, of course. Once it shuts down, everything will be sent away. So imagine if the computer had actually submitted my results, what I have answered. And imagine if I was not a fast student, or maybe I just started my examination and then the network had issue. What would I have done? That would result in what my chief speaker has said. Loss of life. I might decide to eventually kill myself, commit suicide, all because of what? Because this is a yearly thing. Imagine me seeing my other students, seeing my classmates telling me they've entered the university and I couldn't go just because of technical issues. The House. We are not saying abolish the UTME completely. No. We are only saying not to use it as a criteria for university admission. The GCE is still being written, but it is not a criteria. It is to test your preparedness towards NECO and WAEC. And so we have a proposed alternative. 1, comprehensive essay submission. 2, secondary schools transcripts. And 3, interviews. Of course, many people might wonder and then they might say, this will waste time, waste resources. But this actually gives us a full scope of a candidate. This is what JAMB is not giving us. So with our proposed alternatives, we're actually giving you a fuller picture of the candidates. We are telling you that we and what we propose can do much better things than what UTME is proposing. And of course, we believe that with these cogent points of ours, we believe the House would abolish the unified tertiary matriculation examination as a criteria for university admission. Thank you.
Very well. She used 5 minutes, 45 seconds. Can we have the third speaker from opposition, please? Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good day, Mr. Chairman. Impartial panel of judges, accurate and Mr. Moderator, for debaters, and my attentive audience. I feel highly privileged to stand as the delegate of Ekiti State in the year 2025 nationwide electoral debate competition. I am Adedara Adejoke, and I am here to elaborate more on what my 2 speakers have said. Abolishing UTME is not the solution to the problem facing education system in Nigeria. We don't have to change on our decision from UTME because a river never flows backward. Alexander Graham said, and I quote, the So preparation is the key to success. This shows that without examination and preparation, success will be a difficult thing to achieve. Conclusions also said, success depends on previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. My opponent said that UTME has led to the risk of student life, but my opponent, if not to achieve success in life, is it a thing that you have to seek in your home and achieve? No. If you want to be successful in life, you have to risk yourself and risk everything that you have to make sure that you become a better person in the future. Accident is not caused because of UTME's examination. Accident is a normal phenomenon of life because the Bible says all days are filled with evil and will redeem days with prayer. This shows that it's not because people are going for examination. That is why we have accident. Also, my opponent said that UTME has made students to be computer illiterate. The introduction of computer-based tests in writing UTME has brought many students to take part in learning computer, making them to become a person that is literate in computer science. My opponent also made the point that UTME caused the drop in student performance. In secondary schools, that students are writing Y and NECO. It is because there is corruption. It is because there is examination malpractice. If not so, students will not drop in UTME performance. As a research states that the questions asked in UTME is the secondary school syllabus. This shows that the drop in student performance is because of their lack of preparation. This shows that they lack preparation for tertiary education. In the year 2024, Obodo made his research, and it was found that examination malpractice has been 81.3% reduced. This proves that anti-malpractice measure is working in the right position, and this is what led to the drop in student performance. They also made mention of network issue. Take, for instance, yesterday, that there was a drop in network. It's not because the examination is going on. That is what leads to drop in network. Network issue can happen anytime. It's not because of examination. And this, the DAP officials are working also to erase this network issue. And also they have been working on it to make sure that this will not happen again. And the students that were affected with network issue, they will conduct the examination for them. Not that they will be sent back home. They will have to redo the examination. This shows that this did not lead to the abolition of UTME. Your PO.
Thank you. You said UTME aids preparation. So I want to ask, is WAEC and NECO not aiding preparation? Does this mean students do not prepare before writing WAEC and NECO? They just enter the examination and write?
You have only 50 seconds to ask your question. Now, moving on to my point, to show that UTME should never be abolished. Firstly, universal matriculation examination has drastically reduced examination malpractice. Examination malpractice is a wrongdoing contrary to our examination rules that is done by just students or examination officials. Examination malpractice has been reduced due to the introduction of computer-based tests in writing UTME. In May 2025, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, cited the result of students that sat for examination in the year 2025, and it was found that over 75% of these students scored below 200 out of 400. This proved that examination malpractice has been drastically reduced. Also, in the year 2020, in the Mutua and Ifeanyi, they compare the effectiveness of CBT in 2012 to 2015, and it was found that examination malpractice has been reduced. In conclusion, my dear opponents, tell me, is cutting off the head the solution to headache? Absolutely not. Abolishing unified temporary matriculation examination, we only set that a foundation of lack of preparedness for our generations to come. Abolishing unified gender manipulation is not the solution to our problem, but by joining our hands to strengthen it and addressing its lapses. Thanks.
Okay, she used 5 minutes 42 seconds. Now it is time for our reply speeches. In this session, you are not to add any more points. You're just to summarize everything that everyone on your side has said. You're not adding points. And we are going to start with the opposition side. So you choose whoever you want to give your reply speech. It could be the first speaker, second, or third. Is your reply speaker ready so I can put my timer on? So your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Once again, the panel of judges, the moderators, my friends in argument, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I remain Oderi Pisbola to defend the chief speaker from team opposition, and I'm here for the reply speech. Abolition is destruction, while reform is progress. We from the opposition side, we argued that unified national matriculation examination must never be abolished. Rather, reforms should be made. My friends in argument argued that UTME must be abolished. Unified national matriculation examination, if it is abolished, it will only exacerbate existing inequalities and also create new challenges into the admission process. We from the opposition team, we brought to you the following points. We explained how UTME has helped to promote national integration. Unity in diversity is our strength. By bringing together students from different backgrounds, cultures, and regions, this is showing that students from various tribes can sit for the same examination and pass it. This shows that unified tertiary examination is promoting national integration. We also made mention of the point of how UTME prepares a standardized assessment for students' capability. The first step to excellence is fairness, and this is exactly what UTME has been doing. My friends in argument argued that there's been a significant that a lot of students took the examination, the UTME examination in this year, but just few were admitted. This is to show you that UTME is working as regulations and rules have been incorporated, which means that there is no examination malpractice. There is no way a teacher can teach a student the answer or how any examination body can teach the students. And this has shown that honesty is the policy that UTME is upholding. We also made mention of the point of how UTME has helped to reduce examination malpractice. Honesty is the best policy, and UTME encourages this by ensuring that admissions are based on merits, not privileges, not connections, not business under the tables, but on merit, on what you know and not who you know. And that is what my friends in argument have failed to mention. My friend in argument also mentioned that the money that students pay money when they want to write unified tertiary matriculation examination. My friends in argument, it seems that you are oblivious to the fact that if UTME is abolished, students will have to travel to the universities in which they want to take the examination. This shows that the transportation fee should also be considered, but rather centers have been made in which you can just go there, register, and write the examination. You also mentioned that I did mention the opportunities that UTME has provided. An example is Master Olumide, a Nigerian student who scored 370 out of 400 in this just concluded examination. He received international support and he has been given scholarship. This has proven that by writing the examination, when you prove yourself through hard work, confidence, dedication, you will surely be rewarded. They also made mention of the fact that UTME is endangering lives. UTME does not endanger lives. Even if you want to go for interviews and get a job, you will have to go to the interview. You won't say that if you go, you get you can now call that an accident may occur. You won't say that you won't write the interview. In conclusion, panel of judges, UTME, we should uphold UTME, and UTME must never be abolished. You don't burn a house because the roof leaks. Thank you.
I'm so sorry, I had an issue again. However, my timer she exceeded her time. She reached 3 minutes, 19 seconds. Can we have the proposing reply speech? Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The House. It seems that my worthy opponents have failed to really understand this motion. This House would abolish the UTME as a criteria for university admission. We, on the proposing side, did not say the UTME should be forever abolished. Rather, we are saying to abolish it as a criteria for university admission, which means it should still be written but not considered for university admission. Clearing that up. My friends in arguments made mention of risking everything while writing UTME, risking yourself, risking whatever you have. But should exam really be a risk? Do you have to risk everything in examination? She also said to go for interviews, you have to travel. And when the universities were writing UME before, they also traveled, or whether they are post-UTME, they also traveled. But do you know that centers are not everywhere in Nigeria? Which means we also have to travel to go to centers. Talking about transportation fare. The House. We are trying to create a better solution that gives you a full opportunity to consider a candidate, not just academically, but practically. We are telling you that if you give us the opportunity, we can make something better and great out of Nigerian students. Test them academically, morally, and even practically. We stand to give you the brightest students if our proposition is being considered. Without further ado, I am very sure that my team and I have given you worthy points for the House to consider. And it is on this note that we know that the House would consider our proposition and abolish the UTME. Thank you.
She used 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Thank you all so much for your argument. It seems you guys, presented well and prepared very well and was so thoughtful. I really enjoyed it. And now we have to hand over to the judges. You all did great, but we need a winner. We need to know who the winner will be according to our judges. So without further ado, we will give our judges 5 minutes to accumulate all the results and tell us who won the debate. Thank you.
Keenly contested debate for today between the two states, Ekiti and Osun State. Like my fellow adjudicators have mentioned, there are some areas we have taken note of. I won't repeat them again. Things like introduction, distribution of tasks, being focused, and then the use of examples and data. We don't just go and say, so and so this year, so and so, without telling us which year, what happened, and so on. So it is very, very necessary, as those are part of what we look out for. It's very necessary that you introduce yourself very well and with your class as well before you jump into the debate. So for today's contested debate, out of the three adjudicators here, 2 gave it to Team Osun, while one to Team Ekiti. So by this, Team Osun has won this round and this session of the competition. Winner, I repeat again, is Team Osun. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for debate is tough. The two teams are very
The two
okay,
teams
and
are very okay, and
I can assure you people that it's not the end of the road. So for
it's not the
Ekiti,
end of the road. So for
it's not the end of the
Ekiti,
road for you, because
it's not the
of
end of
course
the road for
we have best
you,
loser
but
in this
of course,
tournament.
we have
So
best loser
by
in
the
this
time we are done with
tournament.
the debate,
So
we look at
by the time we are done with the
the
debate, we look
possible
at
score. The judges will now
the
determine the two
possible
best
score. The judges will not
state that will
determine the
now
two
match
best
as the best
state that
loser.
will now
So for
match as
now,
the best loser.
Team
So
Osun
for now,
being their only
Team
debate
Osun
for this
being their only
whatever
debate for
half
this
automatically qualify for
whatever
the
half automatically
knockout
qualify for the
nationals. So we
knockout
were going to look at
nationals.
Ekiti
So we
State
were going to
score
look at
and
Ekiti State
the
score and the
other losers and
other
see if
losers
they
and see
made
if
it
they made it to
as the best
as
loser.
the best
But
loser.
Team Osun
But
have
Team Osun
qualified for
are
nationals.
qualified for nationals.
Thank you.